Hello. So first I want to apologize for the banging noise that's happening in the background. We have some people working on our house and I figure if I wait to do this tutorial, who knows when it's going to happen. So we're going to do it. So I've had a lot of questions on my Instagram about people wanting me to review this Revlon brush styler. So it's like a blow dryer and a round brush and a brush combined into one. So I thought I would do that for you today. I've used it one other time, very briefly, just to kind of see how it worked. So really today, this is like pretty much the full time ever using it while blow drying my hair. So the first thing I'm gonna put in my hair is the volumizing tonic by Aveda. All of these products I will link below in the description. So when I put this in my hair, I'm basically putting this at the roots, everywhere that you're gonna want volume, right? So I'm just taking small subsections and splitting the hair down, and it's just going right at the roots. So this is gonna kind of provide a little extra grip to the hair so that when you are blow drying, it's gonna hold it, especially with blow drying it in the opposite direction. Okay, the next product we're gonna put in is the volumizing thickening tonic. Now this does something totally different. This is also by Aveda. This swells the hair by like 30%. So this instantly makes all the hair feel thicker, more voluptuous. This goes all over, everywhere. The next thing I'm gonna put in the hair, because it is winter time and it's really dry here, the super dry air. So I'm going to use the Damage Remedy Daily Hair Repair, which this is also awesome when you have any type of color treated hair, especially blondes, just to help kind of put that moisture back into the hair. It also has a heat protectant, which is so important when using any heat styling tools, that you're always using a heat protectant. The last thing I'm gonna put in when my hair is wet is this Aveda Dry Remedy Oil. Now this is legit an oil. Can you see that? This is not like a serum. This is like a legit, like almost like an essential oil. It is not like a greasy base. It's a true oil, and it absorbs instantly into the hair. This puts moisture back into the hair. I'm just gonna put it on my mid shaft and ends. Now this differs from a lot of products that are like a greasy base. This is not greasy. This absorbs into the hair. So, okay. Now that we got that in the hair, we're gonna start with this styler. So I'm gonna take sections just because it's always easier to work in sections and you can tell a little bit better what you're doing. So I just have sectioned off this lower part of my hair and I have a clip, this clip that I'm going to put in here. Okay, so one thing that I did notice with this thing right here is that when I briefly used it, it got really hot really quick. So I feel like I'm gonna start on the cool temperature. Okay, so I'm gonna show you first. It has a high, a low, a cool, and an off. So this is cool, low, high. Okay, so here's this first section. So a trick when you're using something like this, a tool like this, you are going to, while it's on, instead of brushing the hair straight down like this, you are going to keep it up close to that hair, but you're gonna like pull the hair out and almost draw a circle to your face. So you're gonna go like this, like a half circle. Boop. Just like I've taught you in my flat ironing techniques, you're gonna do the same thing with this, because that is gonna create a nice round shape through here, but keep you nice and smooth down here at the ends so that it's not like a straight bevel like this, because a lot of people will tend to do one of these numbers that pulls all your volume out here and gives you a whole bunch of curl down here at the end. So to avoid that, I'm starting at the root and I'm pulling the hair out this way and then rounding it down. Okay, here we go again. Well, I'm gonna tell you my review so far on this. So I do feel like on the cool temperature, it's perfect for my fine hair. The high temperature is way mega hot, like mega hot. So I would be very, very careful, especially because this thing is metal right here and your hair is literally right pressed up against that metal section. If you do not have coarse, thick hair, it can very easily burn it, I would suggest. So fine hair, I would turn it to the cool setting, and then if you have really curly, but I feel like this tool would be super good for somebody who has curly, coarse, frizzy hair, because it has these boar bristle brushes inside of here, plus these hard ones that are really gonna help to smooth the hair as you're pulling it straight. So I do think it would be really good for those that have a hard time round brushing, but they need that smoothing in their hair. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish. I'm gonna do the next section just like I did this bottom section, but then I'm gonna show you a trick up here on the top. So we'll get going through here. Okay, hear me out. So I just switched this to, on this last one, to the high setting, and just to see. And I will, if your hair, so you could see how fast I was moving it through. So if you're using the hot setting, I would move this brush through the hair very fast. I wouldn't go slow because it gets really hot. And I'm telling you, if you comb through the hair like this and then you grab that hair, if it is too hot for your hands to touch it, it is too hot for your hair. So turn the temp down. This thing gets way hot. So I'm gonna go back to, and you could kind of switch, I think, between the cool and the hot, because obviously if you use the really hot setting, it's gonna get real hot. This metal part is gonna get real hot, and then if you go back to the cool setting, it's still gonna be blowing out warmer air because this thing is so hot, okay? Okay, so you can see I'm kind of just taking these back sections, and as I'm doing them, I'm pulling them all straight up. That's gonna give you the most lift. So now I'm just gonna take those same, I'm gonna take partings across the head this way, and I'm gonna keep working this whole section right here by pulling it straight up, and you know, kind of letting this sit at the roots right here, because that's gonna give you that volume up here, okay? So I'm just gonna keep working through it. Reminder here, I'm back to the cool setting because I felt like the high setting is too hot for my hair. Okay, so now I'm gonna start in the front, and I'm just gonna take this front section here and I'm gonna just be combing it down and just keep doing that until it's all dry, until you feel like it's dry. And then I'll take another section and do the same thing. Okay, now that we're pretty much dry, so you could see how I did that, right? I basically took those small sections, continually working the hair forward, like this, forward and rounding it down, like cousin it. And that reason for that is this is gonna give you mega volume. So, cause then once it's all cool and dried, you can take your finger and kind of part your hair, you know, wherever it is that you choose to part your hair. And then, but you can see that lift that it creates just from that blow dry, which is pretty amazing. So, couple things when talking about this product, what I would suggest. So after using it this time, okay, so you guys seen what I said, hot. This, I think I've said this a whole bunch of times. This thing gets hot. So I would very much advise to be very careful. If you're switching, like I did switch it a couple of times to the hot setting when I was right here in the front, and I could instantly feel my hair was getting too hot for my hands, so then I switched it back to the cool setting. So obviously if it's hotter, it's gonna blow dry your hair faster, but you could cause some damage. So all in all, I feel like this is a really great product for smoothing the hair. I would suggest not doing it from like soaking wet hair because it's not super powerful in the amount of heat or sorry, the amount of air that it blows. So if I mean, using it, I would suggest using it from, you know, like maybe after you wash your hair, let it sit for, you know, you could put your products in it and let it sit till it's maybe 70% dry, and then I think go through this to kind of like finish it off and smooth it, and I think that would work excellent. So I think this is a really good tool for smoothing hair and getting that lift in volume, especially for a lot of us who it's really awkward to try to round brush the hair and blow dry the hair when you're using two tools. It's hard because it's unnatural, you know. If you're not used to doing it, it feels very unnatural, where this kind of makes it a lot easier because you can, you know, still use your hand to guide your hair wherever it needs to go, but then, you know, you're blow drying, you're lifting, you're doing all of those things. So just make sure that you're pulling the hair straight up. That's gonna help maximize volume. If you're pulling the hair down, lots of this, it is gonna flatten and straighten, which if that's what you're looking for, that's perfect. But if you want a little extra lift with it, you gotta make sure that you're holding the hair up and you're pulling it out and away. And like I said, always kind of think of drawing those half circles, following the shape of your head. Like you're always following the shape of your head. Our head is not straight flat here. So if you're following the way the hair comes out, you're just gonna keep getting that lift and that volume. So all in all, pretty cool tool, I'd have to say. So again, I will link all of these. I will link the tools that I used and as well as the products below in the description. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day and we'll see you soon. And don't forget, you can subscribe to my channel at Harmonized Beauty. So click subscribe.